Hey guys, Gary here, aka Gaz-D-Projects. Today we're just going to take a look at the Kettler Bottom Bracket. Its components, it's a slightly older style bottom brackets. We'll take a look at that, and we'll take a look at the bottom bracket area on the frame itself also. So let's take a quick look. Okay, so we have the components here out on the table, and as you can see we have the tapered end shaft right here. It's in really good condition. No signs of any kind of major wear or damage or anything like that. It's looking really good. See the taper ends, threads are in good nick. You can actually see the wear patterns where the bearings themselves would sit. You might even be able to tell which is the crank side. So if I get my screwdriver. Okay, so right here is where the bearings would run, guys. Okay, here and then over here. And if you take a look at this, you'll see in the center it's more kind of black in the center, whereas you look at this side it's wider, so it's kind of less wear on this side. So this would indicate to me that this side here would be the crank pulley side, because you would be getting torsional loading on the bearings. But I've seen worse, good nick. So you can see the actual bearing receiver here, the original yellow grease still in there from the factory, 40 plus years old, still looking relatively okay. I have seen worse. Bit of corrosion on the outside of the treads there, bit of water getting in, but nothing major. Nice to see a nice rubber seal there on the inside. I actually have one taken out right here on the opposite side. And good nick, no damage to the seal itself. Can be reused again. Clean her up, grease her up and slide her back in. Good to go. Outer ring goes on top of this guy and mounts to the frame. Is okay. We will clean up the notch edge there. There's a little bit of marks there you can see, so we will clean up a little bit with the file. And we'll have a look at cleaning the treads also. Bearings then again from the other side. Good nick, no major signs of damage or anything like that, so we can reuse them again. The frame itself. Okay, so we can see here that we have this end cap here on, and on the opposite side we have it removed, that cap just right over here. So this guy here is removed from the non-crank side. If you actually take a look inside here, guys, you'll see that this is actually a sleeved system. So the frame itself obviously is aluminium. Okay, so what the Kettler engineers have done is they put a steel sleeve in there, and they threaded it to receive the bearing cage holder and shaft. You're gonna get the light in there a little bit better. Okay, so on this side then you would have the sleeve itself. So this is all steel, and what they would do is they thread this part into the aluminium bottom bracket, and then what they do is they put a pin right here, a pin in here straight down, and that's just to stop this from moving over time. And because aluminium is fairly soft, not as forgiving as say steel, so the treads themselves they could be prone to a bit of damage. So putting a pin also in here also helps with that. So putting the steel sleeve in means that when you're putting the bearings into this sleeve, everything's nice and solid. It won't move, and we're not relying heavily on the actual aluminium bottom bracket itself. It's a good idea. The only thing is, I'm just thinking, in order for me to get a proper good look at this, I should really try and take this pin out. Now you'd probably have to drill, tap, or use an extractor to get the pin out. Then the question then is, could we reuse the pin, or we try and source some other new pin, or maybe make or customize a new pin to slide in there when it's gone back in for reinstallment. To get a better kind of idea as to how this goes together, what I've done is I've drawn a picture on the memo board here in the office. Just bring you guys in and you can get an idea. So right here I have the bottom bracket itself. You can see right here I've got the actual bottom bracket itself, and then on the inner part of the bottom bracket then is that steel sleeved system. Okay, this outer wall here is probably between 3 and 5 mil in thickness, and then the sleeve sits inside here. It's threaded. The actual sleeve itself is threaded on the outside, and then on the inside of this hub here is also threaded with aluminium thread on the bottom bracket part of the frame itself. This little threaded sleeve bearing receiver is what goes into here, and it looks something like this. So it would basically slot onto the tapered end shaft itself along with the bearings, and then it would go right into the actual bottom bracket on the frame and thread in, depending on what side it's on, clockwise or anti-clockwise. Then looking again here, we have the bottom bracket. We have the notch hole here for where the pin goes into to stop the actual threaded receiver from moving in the actual bottom bracket part of the frame. Notch hole there. I'm no Picasso, but I hope it kind of gives you kind of an idea as to what way it kind of works. It's very simple, but yet very effective. So the kind of real question here, guys, is do we try and drill out this pin? Do we try and drill out the pin? Do we try and play around? So the whole idea of taking this pin out basically would be so we could take this guy out, unthread him out, and have a look and see what condition the threads are on the inside of the hub, clean them up, retap them, rethread them if needed, and basically get an overall idea as to how the bottom bracket, sleeve, etc. is engineered, how it all goes together, how it works. And then once we have a better understanding of that, then we can reinstall it and come up with maybe a new or inventive way to put in a pin here to stop this guy from moving. Managed to pick myself up a new chain extractor tool. It actually came with this pin, sits on top, nice little feature. So basically just holds the chain in place while you're trying to take off the pin from the actual chain itself there. So I actually have the pin pushed all the way out there. So all that's left for me to do then is just to unwind this guy, take it off, and then the pin will have been pushed all the way out, and I can take that chain off. I'm not, I don't have 3 or 4 pairs of hands, so yeah, you guys won't get to see that until down the road. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to continue working on the bottom bracket and its components, get things cleaned up, get our back service nice and working 100%. Then what we'll do then is we will move on to having a look at the frame itself. See, can we try and clean up the frame? I know there's a few marks here along here on the frame, so do we partially try and segment an area, you know, take back the paint, repaint it? That's another problem, trying to source correct Kettler paint. In fact, anybody knows where I could get the correct paint for this, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, so we're going to move on to restoring the frame, and a few marks there also. And then we'll have a look at rewiring up the dynamo and the light, fixing all that up. I did manage to get the Kettler Stirring Archer hub repaired. It's actually right here. She's nice and clean. I would have cleaned up that plate, taken all this off, put her back together again and greased her up real nice. You can see the grease coming out there, the blue. And then we have our little torpedo clutch brake lever here. And we go backwards, this engages and locks the wheel up. So we also have to source new tyres because these ones are not the May West. Let's just throw that back over there. Okay guys, so that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and give us a like, comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit that notification bell and stay in tune with the latest videos that get posted. All that's left for me to do is to carry on here and see you guys real soon. Take her handy.